Yeah, it's Lethal Saint right here on your Classic Metal Show. I can't hear myself. There we go.
The only one with the headphones in. You can't
yeah, no,
hear
I couldn't
yourself.
hear it. But that was from their World War III release. That was called Ascend to Power. Again, that's Lethal Saint,
Awesome.
which I kind of like. That's pretty good.
Actually, very good.
And then Iron Jaws before that. What? From their Guilty of Ignorance release with what was that song called?
Couldn't you come up with a better name for your band than Iron Jaws?
They're all taken now.
Iron Jaws.
All right, now it's okay.
What the fuck, man?
It's hard to come up with band names. It's hard to come up with album names. Got to give them some credit. It is
No,
a
you
little
don't.
difficult.
Hey, just shut up.
Nobody gets credit for Iron Jaws.
Just shut up and look at the tits.
Yeah, you don't get.
I don't have that on my. Oh yes, I do.
Yes,
even
you
in
do.
that. Even in
You
that.
know what's
what was
what's
that
great
movie?
about these tits?
Everything.
Yeah, but I don't have to worry about that because it's like those are good. But what's waiting for me at home?
Yeah.
Oh, whatever.
Brag,
picture-
brag.
I can
Shut-
brag.
Yes, you
I'm
can.
allowed to brag.
Well, then do something with those tits when you get home. You fuck.
Oh well, this morning stuff had breakfast. So anyway,
Is Steph listening?
no,
No,
she
of
was
course
asleep.
not.
I don't know what time the show start. 9.
She's
She was
asleep
asleep
at
at 9:10.
Yeah, I'm gonna say she knows better than to ever listen to me and him.
Oh. Well,
If she
you guys
wants-
are best friends because of the
If
CMS.
if
so there
she
you go.
wants to listen to me and him, she would have been in here.
Look at John Ball. Oh, here it comes, the Steph promo. Look, John, if you were married to Steph, or if you knew Steph, or even saw Steph, you would understand why we promote Steph. Because she fucking kicks ass.
Or let me simplify your statement.
There you go.
Go fuck yourself, John. It's my fucking show.
All right.
I got a quick question.
All right.
Okay.
A quick question.
Fucking guy or chick, I don't know, named Penis Lover. I'm hoping that's a chick.
Uh-huh.
That's Chris's sock puppet.
Let's see a fucking picture.
It's
I mean,
aching,
are you
it's aching.
fucking queer or are you straight? I'm assuming it's a chick, but nowadays you never know. Like Chris said, you fucking got to ask him on a
On a first date.
On a
It could
dating
be. It
site,
could be
you
a
gotta ask
genderless
them.
person. It could be someone who's genderless.
On a first date, you have to ask these days if you ever had
You're
a penis.
exactly correct.
You have to ask that question. Did you
Of what
ever have
question?
a
Or do you
dick?
ask, what were you born with? Is
Yeah.
that inappropriate to ask on
You
a date?
have to.
You have to.
What, were you born with a dick?
Yeah.
I don't
Look.
want to fuck somebody that had to whacked off.
Yeah, I don't ever want to fuck somebody that ever had a cock.
No. Yeah, exactly.
So that's a question now. Did you ever? And boy, is that insulting if the answer is no.
I have no idea what you guys are talking
It's like
about.
asking a chick if
Look,
she's pregnant when she's
you,
really
you
not.
saw the fucking name. What are you talking about? You don't know what we're talking about.
Look,
Penis Lover.
He said, I'm a dude, but it's a joke name.
He did?
Yeah, he just said it right there in the chat.
Oh, I
Just
didn't see
let Jim drink his Yinglings.
it. Okay. Fuck. Well, fuck you then.
All right, so since I said I did have something to bring up,
All right, go ahead.
and we have to keep with the CMS theme.
All right.
We couldn't possibly have a CMS episode without, racism.
Conflict.
I'm covering for Neely right here.
Don't
right,
get
go
me
ahead.
started.
Florida school district condemns students' racist promposal.
All right.
And what this is a kid in Florida.
Of course.
Where else?
This is so ridiculous.
Okay.
He proposed to a chick, asking her to prom, and he posted a picture of him with a big piece of
Are you
poster
sure
board.
he was a dude?
Well, actually, you know what's funny? It doesn't show his face, but he is in a lot of trouble according to the article.
Okay.
But the piece of poster board says,
Yeah.
"If I was black, I'd be picking cotton, but I'm white, so I'm picking you for prom."
What the fuck?
So
His
here it is.
parents are wishing they aborted.
Yeah.
Come on.
A Florida school district on Monday condemned a white student's promposal sign after critics charged the language used was racist. A senior at Riverview High School in Sarasota posted to social media a photo of himself holding the homemade sign that read, "If I was black, I'd be picking cotton, but I'm white, so I'm picking you for prom." The Sarasota County School District posted a statement on its website calling the promposal racial in nature. Neither the school district nor Riverview High School condones or supports the message conveyed in the post, the statement said, adding the student may face disciplinary action.
And the
Riverview acting principal Kathy Wilkes sent a message to students and parents on Monday saying many who saw the post were understandably upset with its contents.
Oh.
The promposal ignited online
outrage.
I didn't have to say it, see? Fox 13 Tampa reported. Some commenters said the student shouldn't be allowed to go to the dance, with others calling the post shameful and unnecessary. The student, identified as 18-year-old Noah Crowley, purportedly posted an apology on Snapchat in which he said the sign was a complete joke and went too far.
Oh. And then his date said, Lordy be, I'm going to go.
I have a racist story to go along with that.
Oh.
See, look, John he posted a picture.
Wait a minute.
There you go. John found the whole thing.
All I'm going to say is I remember when I was 15 or 16 years old.
Yeah.
My dad told me, just don't come home with a nigger.
Oh, my God.
Jesus, dude.
That's what my dad said. I'll never forget that.
Holy cow.
Did he use that language?
Yes, he did.
He got sheets and scissors for Christmas.
By then, I heard that. I heard that shit when I was 13 from my grandfather.
Jesus.
You don't know how
Dad got him sheets. Grandfather got him scissors for eye holes.
There you go.
They were in cahoots for
My
Christmas.
grandfather at 13 years old, I remember we were fishing one day.
And his uncle gave him a sewing kit and a patch.
I'll never. And the only reason I'll know that is because and remember that is because there was a mixed couple walking down the street, and my dad said, "Don't you ever come home with a fucking nigger." That's what he said. I swear to God.
Jim, what was life like back in 1941?
No, this was about 1975.
No, Jim. It was
What kind of syrup did you use on your pancakes in that house?
I'm just telling you like it is.
Not the
brother.
kind you're thinking.
No, it couldn't have been.
Not something that came out of a ham.
Good point.
I brought that to the table because as soon as I saw it, I was like, who in the fuck would ever think that's appropriate? Like, how dumb can you be to make that sign and not know that, you know?
Of course he knew. He's trying to get attention.
Yeah, well,
of course he
but
knew.
it's for all the wrong reasons. Like, why do you want that kind of attention?
Because some people are okay with negative attention. I'm one.
Some people thrive on it.
I'm one of them.
Look at Steve Jackson in the chat room. Nigger's gonna nig.
Jesus. I'm finding this conversation highly racist.
Oh my God, look at Phillips.
Oh my God. Jesus. I'm just going to say this now, Phil. That might be racist.
Okay, let's change the subject.
My God, Phil.
I knew I shouldn't have done this, but I couldn't help it. I was like, yeah, this kind of seems CMS-ish if I bring that to the table.
Definitely.
I didn't know there was a blackpeoplemeet.com.
You didn't know that? Look it up.
I need to.
No, I think I seen that on one of them.
Well,
fucking,
do it. 'Cause I'm going to go pee out your window
one of
again.
No, you're not going to pee
One of
out my
them black
window.
channels. I see.
It's like
Well,
Christian,
your yard, whatever.
ChristianMingle.com, but it's a little different.
Oh, there is a site. Meet other black singles in your area.
Isn't that racist?
No,
How
only.
about meetniggers.com?
Jesus Christ, Jim. Well, let's see if it's there.
I think it's called cheaters.com nowadays.
No, that one's not there, Jim. Maybe you're onto something. Maybe you could start yourself.
Maybe.
Maybe you start a dating site.
Maybe,
Jesus
and I'll have
Christ.
you do the website.
No, I'm not. I'm not touching that website.
You know it's bad if it's too hardcore even for Aiken.
I'm not doing that website. Thank you. No. Holy smokes.
Have you seen the story about the serial killer that they caught using DNA from one of the ancestry websites?
No.
No.
There was a serial killer, I think it was in Florida?
All right.
Of course. Florida.
No, in California, I'm sorry.
All right.
And apparently there's these websites where millions of people submit DNA to find out information about their ancestors. Mm-hmm. So these places like Ancestry.com, they just send you a swab. You swab your cheek. They do a complete DNA profile, and they post it publicly, and anybody can access it.
Wow.
So the cops go in and access these DNA profiles.
Right.
And they can find out, like, if somebody from your family is on there. Not necessarily you.
Okay.
But they can tell if it's a family member's DNA. And then
Right.
they go threaten and put the hammer down on these family members until they find out who the offender is.
Jesus.
Maybe
Who would just submit their DNA to a random website to be genetically printed and put online publicly?
And the serial killer was using that to what?
So a member of the serial killer's family.
Oh, wow.
So they found the DNA of the serial killer's family.
Yeah.
And the cops went to them and, through interviewing the family, found out who the suspect was.
Oh,
and they
no
were
shit.
correct, and it was an ex-cop who's a serial killer.
Oh, wow. No, I did not hear that. Holy shit. What are you laughing about?
I'm just thinking
Drunk
maybe I
ass.
should submit mine and see if I'm a coon somewhere.
I like that you transitioned from
Who knew
buzzing
two
to
Yinglings
hammer.
would get him so fucked up?
He transitioned.
Yeah,
from,
right?
He transitioned from buzzing to pounded in like no time.
Well, maybe I'm a little monkey somewhere down the line.
Oh my god! God damn!
And I don't even know about.
Wow.
Oh my god! If I'm a monkey, I'm killing myself.
Jim, you are already a legend in the CMS chat room. I think you just went extra legend.
I don't know about that, but I see Phil Oo's friend requesting him immediately.
Oh, I'm already friends with Phil.
Speaking of fucking cold hams, have you seen the funeral home stories that have been in the news lately?
No.
About these funeral homes where
This
they
is
like
getting
have
really
rotting
bad.
corpses in the garage.
What are they doing?
They like find rotting corpses in the garage, and they've closed down a couple different funeral homes because
Why?
they're just storing corpses.
They're
and-
not burning them or
No.
burying them or whatever.
Nope. There was one in Detroit recently.
So what's the reason? Because they don't want to waste the space.
I don't know what the reason is.
I mean, is it people are supposed to be buried or?
Yes, people that have been paid to be buried or cremated, and instead they're just storing them wherever they can store them.
Well, cremation doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but the buried one, like if you owned like a cemetery or something and you're running out of space, just dump Granny in the backyard.
A Detroit funeral home was shut down Wednesday after state inspectors found decomposed embalmed bodies and other violations throughout the facility.
Where was that? You said Detroit?
Detroit.
Oh, go figure.
Wow, yeah.
Probably couldn't afford to buy a
Bodies
shovel.
covered in mold.
Right.
Two bodies were covered in mold, and a third body with unknown fluids.
Oh my.
Oh,
Who's that guy? Oh, the unknown fluid guy.
Well,
He's that new mortuary worker
I
who would
have
never
to.
make eye
I
contact.
have to admit, I actually had a death in the family this week, and yesterday I was at the wake, and super sad, monstrously sad for
Okay.
our family.
sure.
But I always look at these bodies, and I walk into these funeral homes, and I know it's like the guys that are at the funeral home. So sorry. I'm like, okay, you had to have education to be a mortuary,
Yeah, mortician or
mortician.
whatever.
Yeah. Like, who the fuck goes to college and goes, you know what? I think I'm going to be a mortician.
Look.
I'm going to juice up corpses with these fucking embalming shit. Like,
I'm gonna tell you who.
what kind of
you gotta
creepy
go to
fucks are
college?
that?
Yeah, you do.
What doctor wants to be a proctologist?
Yeah, but
Thank you. Another perfect example.
But here's the deal. You can make, as a mortician, you can make good quality coin.
What kind of gynecologist,
Yeah, but-
after spending
What
all
do you-
day with around fat women's vaginas,
Yeah.
how does a gynecologist go home and be excited about having sex with his wife?
Well, it's the thrill of the kill,
What
I
do you
guess.
gotta go to fucking college?
Thrill of the
goddamn
kill.
mortician for?
Because you have to know anatomy to sew shit back together and stuff.
Yeah, you drain blood out of people, and
You have to have a
know.
complete lack of remorse, like
Let me
empathy.
tell you. Sadly,
I know that you have experience
sadly, I
with
have
this, but-
stories.
Can you imagine what Chris would have done if he worked in a funeral home?
I worked at a crematory.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
Have you not listened to Motley Crue Cause and Effect?
So
which
after-
you can get on Amazon.
So the
You can
ham-
have,
the ham
find the
story-
audio book. Go look up Chris Aiken's book. Motley Crue Cause
All
and
right,
Effect.
enough with the
So the
plugs.
ham is tame compared to what happened.
Well,
Yeah.
here, I'll tell this story.
Yeah.
So when I worked at the crematory, I worked at a crematory right there by the flat.
Cream being the
Yeah, exactly. It was right there by Nautica. Right, where the Iron. What is that place called? The Iron Cafe or whatever it
Oh
is.
yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Flatiron. Yeah.
Flatiron?
Right across the street on the Wedge is a building, and on the front of the building it says CSI,
Yep.
Cremation Services Inc.
What
I
it was when I
That
saw
means
it on
Chris
TV.
spews and inseminates. CSI.
maybe then.
You've earned it.
Maybe then. But when I worked there was a mortician that worked downstairs, and I was always working with this guy, this Mexican guy, that was like him and I would fry the bodies, and he would get the fucking car wrecks and stuff, that weren't getting cooked. And
Fucking spick.
this guy was an absolute
Jim, for the
fucking.
love of God.
This fucking guy, this mortician, was an absolute disaster. He was always like, if I had to get paperwork and shit, he would leave like a severed hand on top of the paperwork, so that I would have to take the hand off the paperwork to get the.
Like
To
an
get it.
actual hand.
Yeah, like somebody's hand or their foot or some shit.
Would he put like a dick in your coffee cup?
No, he never got that far. I think he knew that he was on the verge of getting beat, because this I was struggling with this job anyway. I mean,
Would you like test the meatballs before you ate them with the spaghetti?
I didn't eat there. Dude, I always wondered, because right across the street was State Fish. And I always I knew, like, especially on like Mondays when we would cook like 30, 50 dogs from the ASPCA, like they would put them all down on Mondays and they'd bring them over in garbage bags and we'd cook them 50, 60 at a time.
Fuck this.
And I always thought, we had a big smokestack on the top, and I was always like, man, I'll bet you there's like fucking dead dog flakes flaking in on the fucking fish. Because they always had one, those coolers. And I was like, I'm never going to eat. Georgetta used to say to me all the time, she's like, why don't you get some fish since you worked out? Nope. Not getting any
It
fish.
didn't smell appetizing?
No, just the dogs or the fish?
Yeah, the dogs.
That fucking wretched smell of fur burning. Oh my God.
Move on.
Fur and bone and plastic bags.
Did the fur burning smell worse than when you burned your dick on the light bulb?
I would say yes. I would say, I'm an expert in human burning skin as well. And I can say for a fact that the human flesh burning, my own human flesh burning, did not stink as bad as dog fur. Dude, nothing worse than that. Just fucking tumping that shit in. Boom, boom, boom.
I don't want to hear about that.
Well, let me tell you about these dogs, John.
Stop the fuck.
It was like hot dogs.
Oh, you know what? Speaking of burning,
Yes.
I actually had someone this week send me a message on Facebook Messenger.
Yes.
Apparently, I don't know how I know them.
Okay.
The heat is. I don't know how they know me or how they know you,
Yeah.
but I got this message, and they said, "Why does Aiken think he's so hardcore? Did that really happen? Like, he didn't get burned up that bad. Why? Like." And I'm like, dude, like,
Really?
like, okay, like, and first of all, I'm like, okay, obviously you're listening to like his show,
Yeah.
and I don't know how he found me or something, but I'm like, yeah, like, yeah, that's real. Like, does he really think he's that badass? Like, the accident couldn't have been that bad.
No.
And I'm like, dude, like maybe go back and listen to the like CMS archives or anything. And he says, I don't want to go listen back. Like, I think he's full of shit.
Okay.
Like, it can't be that bad.
All right.
And I literally went, look, dude, like, I don't know what to tell you. Like,
Yeah.
he's my best friend. Look at his skin.
Yeah. You can see
Just
it.
listen to anything he's done in the last, 10 years.
I'm not that badass.
Yeah, I actually had someone doubt you.
So?
And I tried to say, no, dude, that's real. And he actually said, no, it's not. No, it's
Okay.
not.
Well, all right.
And I'm like, what the fuck, man? Like,
Look, I don't need to justify me to anybody. My stories are all there.
it was told to me that you and I do it for
Effect?
shock jock radio bullshit.
What? I caught myself on fire for
Yeah,
shock
no,
jock?
apparently it's fake.
He wrote a fucking
Yeah.
book about it, for Christ's
Yeah.
sake.
It's fake.
Well,
Fiction.
I
bird-
I responded a couple times, and after that, I just stopped. But apparently, it's fake.
I don't believe
It's shock jock radio bullshit.
Okay.
As I'm doing air quotes.
I don't believe you got burned, but I believe you fucked a ham.
See, Joe's getting the show back on track. Now here we go.
I don't have to justify anything. You know?
true.
I mean, I'm... Anybody wants to challenge me on survival shit? Okay.
I just couldn't believe that I got that from somebody. I'm like, especially someone that says they listen to the show.
Well,
They know
whatever.
me. Like,
Doesn't
well,
matter.
if you know us, then why are you doubting
Doesn't-
anything?
It doesn't.
Like, what the
but
fuck?
see, you know what? And this is just my interpretation. I don't know who you're talking about, but
I don't know either. It was
it-
literally a random person.
the simple thought is this: when people can't imagine it themselves, then they can't fucking believe that there's truth to it. You know, for better or for worse, I am a wide open book, and sometimes it's better, sometimes like fucking hams, it's not.
Now, like when you eat ham nowadays, like if you go to your folks on Christmas and they have a
Yeah.
ham, when you take the first bite of that ham, do you always think about when you stuck your dick in one?
Not always, but I have.
Wow, weren't we just talking about this on my way to Lima today?
I
Do you ever get like when they're slicing the ham? Do you ever get like chubbed up?
No, the opposite. I'm like, ooh. I'm like shying away from the knife.
God, what were you saying today? Like,
Mom, stop it!
no ham! No! I don't want ham! I don't want ham! No!
Don't kill my girlfriend! I mean, I want fish.
Oh, God.
All right.
Oh!
What is that?
Oh, my God,
I don't
Demon.
know what that is.
I'm
either.
going to say point blank. I'm not that hardcore.
How does Demon find these things?
What is that?
It's a dick with a cassette tape in it.
I see the cassette.
All right, so let's just clarify. Tonight we've had Staples opening the dick for worms, but now we have a dick hole with a Maxell 110-minute or 90-minute cassette in it.
All I can think is that's definitely not circumcised.
I
Wow.
was gonna say, fuck me. What the hell?
Oh,
My goodness.
Demon, where the fuck you come up with that shit?
What song is on that tape? Balls to the Wall?
It's gotta be. Nice.
Aiken is the Benvenuto Cellini of podcast, a
You-
man
you were
of the
quick on
world
that. I
who
gotta
experiments
hand
with
it to you.
vice.
Who the hell is Benvenuto Cellini?
Bobby, you can't be bringing that kind of fucking like logic and literature into this show.
Who?
I don't know who that is.
What the fuck?
Oh,
Yeah.